I would wait till the last one. I think that
We kind of, let's call this regular council meeting to order, May 4th, 2026, 5:02 p.m. Roll call, please. We'll request all your phone turned outside. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Engel?
Here.
Commissioner Pennington? Commissioner Morris?
Here.
Commissioner Clinton?
Here.
And Mayor Fitzgerald.
Here, please stand, take your hands off the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for citizens of the United States. Standing, please.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day and we're grateful for your presence. And we just seek your guidance on all the decisions that need to be made tonight. And that you just grant the council wisdom and help them to see the truth. And we just are grateful in Jesus.
Thank you. Okay. The approval of agenda, get motion. All in favor? All right. Public comment, we got some people who want, you got 3 minutes?
Yep.
Any Nichols, you're gonna stand in, give your public comment, please.
I wish you brought that presentation prior to, because it is a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But I still think a ton of fish a month, 1,200 pounds of fish a year, that seems to be a little bit much for our rural community. My concern is the smell. I don't know why there shouldn't be any smell. I mean, I just can't imagine that. I just think that our city leaders need to be more interested in the businesses that are here now and not push anybody away because of this. This just is, to me, will be a nuisance to our community. So that's all I have to say. But it is, I think it's a great thing, but I don't think it belongs in a small community next to schools, churches, residences, and restaurants, businesses that are out there. It belongs more in an industrial area or a rural community. So that's my opinion.
I think the one thing about that is that our ordinance that we'll be voting on later, there's 10 bullet points in it. One of them is odor. If there's any odor at any time, Sean being our development director plus code official, he shuts them down right there. That's it. I mean, so it's pretty cut and dry. You either adhere to these 10 points because it's special use. Being a special use, you don't have to go to a hearing, you don't have to go to nothing. She has the opportunity to shut them down. And that's why this is to me, when a business comes here, we treat them all the same. Treat them the same. We treated an ice cream shop or a cigarette shop or bar. I mean, a lot of us don't partake in that, but we treat them all the same. This business went through every step from our development team, which is everybody sitting down there and a few of us sitting up here. And we went through everything, you presented everything to us, make sure that within our code, then it's legal, make sure everything is done properly, you get the site plan and all that stuff. Then if he needs a special use, which we wanted, that could control everything. That could say, if you don't adhere to these 10 points, then you lose your business right there. Shut them down. And that's what we will do. But after that, the zoning board takes it. The zoning board, which is made up of 6, 7 people that sit up here in the zoning board and they vote on it. Well, they go through it, and it took hours in that zoning board. They asked the same questions you're all asking, we asked too. And he presented all his answers. Then they voted unanimously to move forward. Then when they move forward, they come to us up here. And then we vote on it. And, I treat it as any other. I don't treat it as fish or whatever. And that's the deal that, I think that's important here, because if we gotta start doing this display that he did, we've never had anybody else do that. Nobody's ever had to come up here, but we told them that if you wanted to present your case in front of, we needed it before people come on and do it, because that's something that, it's hard to explain. And just like you said, if you'd have done it earlier, maybe everybody would have understood a little bit, but.
Do we have your guarantee that that's what's gonna happen? That
We don't have any guarantee, no, we don't, but we do have the option to shut them down. We don't have the guarantee because we don't know, we're all done. We got the same option that we had before, so, Jennifer, if we.
People don't want this.
Wait, stop, quiet. Don't disrupt this council meeting. Don't disrupt.
Look at that flag behind.
Okay, don't disrupt this council meeting. I'm asking you not to do it, because just don't do it. Jennifer Ricci,
Hi, I've been through the whole process with my son, Adam. He made the fish, essence in his house. They're still in my house, some of them, and there's never been any smell any sense of fish in the house now while they're sealed. And I didn't during the process while he was making it. So I was really confused about the concern for the smell. There is no smell. It gets sealed as soon as the fish is in the barrel. It's not explosions.
hey,
517.
wait a minute, first of all, if you were here during the thing, you would understand.
Well, I gotta go upstairs, like, I don't know.
That's up to you, that's not my problem. Your problem is,
Oh, no.
you know why, you can't talk in here like you're on
That's the problem either. This still has to go through the United States of America.
I give you 2 warnings, 3rd warning, you're out.
So you're a king too.
I'm not a king too.
Yeah.
I'm running this meeting by Robert's rules of order. If you read Robert's rules of order, you understand. Mark Bertinelli. You get all that?
3 minutes, I'm gonna have to talk.
What is the process for reconsidering a previous agenda item and who initiated it and for what reason? 2, I do not believe that a regenerative fish fertilizer factory would be a good use of this property in the middle of the city amongst homes, churches, the library, and many food establishments. 3, what benefit is this to the city? Will it increase property values? What improvements will be made to the building and the property? The property sold in 2017 for $95,000, and the property tax paid in 2024 was $3,817. How many jobs will be created by this business, and at what wage and what benefits? Does this facility fit into the city's comprehensive development plan? Is this an effort to appear open to new businesses without regard to any benefits or detriments to the community? Has any effort been made to find a more suitable location in our community for this facility? And how can they say that there will be no odor when all available information indicates that an odor is associated with regenerative fish fertilizer factories? And not as bad as Axiom is not exactly a ringing endorsement. Where will the waste be composted? Now, he has said that he puts the waste back in for a certain length of time, but eventually there is waste, and he acknowledged that it's composted. Will it be composted here? Will it be composted on the property? Will requirements for state licensing and EPA regulations be met? And I would want to know whether Adam is associated with any. He said he doesn't have any experience with such a facility other than his kitchen. And is he associated with any industry or trade organizations? Thank you.
Hey, you wanna read that?
This is a statement from Vicky Webster. She says, I'm a member of the St. Peter's Church and the Parish Council. I'm unable to attend tonight's meeting, however, I'm asking you to vote down the proposal for the fish fertilizer plant between our church buildings and the apartments located west of the former Bird building. While this area is somewhat industrial, it is also an area of family homes, apartments, and of course our church and the activities that are provided there. Your approval of this would be very detrimental to anyone living near or participating in any event at our church due to odor and question. Please be considerate of all of those that would be affected by this and vote no. Thank you, respectfully, Vicky Butler.
Thank you, Megan. First thing I want to tell everybody is today we had a press conference with Darren Beloit. And he brought us $750,000 for our. Huh?
Is there no more public comment?
No, well, we're going, we signed up.
Alright, as long as you're.
Anyway, Darren Beloit come up here and gave us $750,000 on our lift station.
You got people asking if they had to sign up, are you willing to give any budge on that? They're not signing up for the public comment sheet.
Anytime they say, okay, I'll leave them, who wants to?
Well, I've been coming here and I've never signed up, like, so.
No, this was because there'll be this many people. You only get 6 people get public comment. But go ahead.
I just 2 quick things. Are we going to publish the agenda online again? Cause I didn't see the agenda online today. And I didn't know anything about this meeting at 4:30 until I was home. I mean, I'm just asking, I'm not trying to raise, get anybody upset,
I
but.
had someone else ask that, I checked with our website, Nikki, it was posted on Friday.
I
Here, I did not.
It's on the right side of the page, so because we're in the second half of the year almost, there's all of 2020, or from like January to the end of April, and then May is on the right side. And there's one for the notice of majority quorum, and then there's also the agenda on the page as well.
I guess I'll look there from now on, I didn't know that. Okay,
Some of
On the right.
That's the left side, there's the right side, it's a scroll down, it goes to 25 there.
we only have one website, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just asking. And then just quick another thing, do we know what gas station, I know this is really minor, but do we know the name of the gas station that's on the corner of Sherwood and South Bluff? There's been, I mean, I'm only, because you know what, if I was coming in and I needed gas, and there wasn't a sign on there, I wouldn't stop and get gas. Just
Yeah.
asking.
You're in the
I'm
process.
sorry.
We had notified them that they've been there long enough, it's time to clean the place up.
Well, it's at least 6 months, right? Just asking. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Alicia Peterson, owner of the Dairy River. I have a big concern about what's happening. For one, everybody is talking about it, the smell. I have little baby children, all the way up to adults that come out. I smell the taco place. It smells like cheap Fritos and nachos in my backyard. It smells like the factory. This is a concern, okay, and that's number one. Who's going to, if there is, you talked about that, something we're gonna be able to monitor it,
No, Sean will shut them down.
okay? From
Because she-
how? I'd like to know on, does it have to be because somebody
No,
approaches? How do we?
we don't, that's what I got.
Does that mean that we have to come to the council and say, hey, there's a smell? Okay, so,
If it smells, we'll shut them down.
I'm worried about wastewater. There is a lot of things that happen with the water. That's another concern.
He was already went through all that, there's not pouring anything in that sewer.
I understand that, but there is things that come off of the fish. There's lead, there's mercury, but my main concern definitely has to do with the environment.
I don't think that part, he won't be there, that's all it's true.
Well, it's the smell, and I think it could be a better area out further away and then
Somebody else's residence. Anybody else? Tyler, go ahead.
Mine is completely off of this topic.
Well, it's been a while, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's been 2 calls to Fair Oaks Nursing Home by the fire department. And I have made calls back to the fire department to find out results. And not only to the fire chief, but to the inspector. I have still, to this day, not heard anything. Needless to say, I'm a feisty old lady, and I'm gonna pursue this because I believe it's important. So I would like to know when I can contact the fire chief or the fire inspector, because the nursing home is telling me I can no longer have a humidifier in my son's room because of whatever reason. He's been there 7 years. This is the first time that I have heard that he cannot have a humidifier. So I'd like some answers from him. I mean, pay some pretty good sized taxes for the homes in South Beloit, and I think a response is a courteous thing. Don't know what's been said to me about me, don't really care, but I would like to know when and who can contact me on this.
Yes, I'll call you again back tomorrow, but we're still going through the rules and regulations to make sure we're telling you the legal answer for both sides.
The one other thing I would like to mention is I own a property up on Hemingway, put up 3 beautiful mailboxes. I know this has nothing to do with you people, but I want to know that if something happens to one of them that don't live too far away, that we're not responsible for it. And if the weeds grow up around these 2 mailboxes, who's gonna have to cut them down? Because I told my tenant, if they don't want to deal with this, then where do we go? The city gonna come up and write me a ticket? I don't either, so what do I talk?
I don't know. Can't give you an answer. But, another thing I wanted to mention was, we had a former South Lake Showboat, Bruce Hedrington, passed away, captain, Beloit Police or Fire Department. He spent his whole life in the fire service. May he rest in peace. All right, moving on. Approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held April 20th, 2026. Get a motion, please.
Almost. Second.
All in favor? Board of Officers, approval of claims paid April 18th, 2026, May 1st, 2026 for the amount of
$334,639.91. Motion.
second. May, please.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Franklin,
Yes.
Commissioner England,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington, Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. Approval, or, purchase report.
No.
Okay, all right, you want to see administrator, Sonia? Go
I have
ahead.
2 quick things for you tonight, Mayor. First is I wanted to also second your thanks for Congressman Beloit for visiting South Beloit today. This is his second or third visit in just the last couple of years, so I really appreciate that. Mostly, he was here to present the city with $750,000 towards our lift station 1 project that will happen on South Bluff. But also we were able to talk to him a little bit about the UP right of way on Shirley Avenue. It was just a really good visit, so thank you to all the staff, and then there were a couple of residents throughout the line. Just want to thank everyone for that, and then I also wanted to thank the council for allowing me to attend year 2 of a 3-year program for the Illinois Public Service Institute last week in Effingham. 5 days really well spent, hard to be away from home, hard to be away from the work that's being done. But certainly want to thank you guys for that investment in our future. That's all I had. It's Chief Trimming's report for police this quarter. It's got a brief report ready as well.
Yeah.
I will share a copy of it. It starts with a statistical overview. Just look at the percentages real quick. Healthcare service from last year up 0.82%, almost 1%. Private practice were up 57%. COB is down 54%. Our criminal arrests were up 52%, and traffic citations up 10%. We did for training over the last quarter. The department-wide training was 2 sessions of law update and DUIs. We had 5 different specialty trainings to include property and evidence management, interviewing child sex abuse material cases, rapid deployment instructor, peer support, mental health awareness, and trauma-informed sexual assault. The next 2 pages are just graphs from statistics. So we just want to jump right back to page 8. It talks about miscellaneous events and updates. The city currently has 20 active sex offenders that are compliant, and 3 non-compliant. 2 are incarcerated, and 1 is to work. Ella had 44 FOIA requests, consisting of 367 pages, 7 audio visual requests, or 14 hours and 36 minutes. We did 1 tobacco compliance check. 2 businesses were not compliant. 1 business was issued a warning because of their first offense. The second business was not compliant, was issued a citation. I had attended the Northwest Illinois Reflection Initiative Summit in Freeport. A full evidence audit was conducted by Detective Sergeant Reed and Officers Ruska and Ramirez. All items were accounted for. We did receive the $31,000 through the LSD camera grant that I applied for. If you're going to offset the cost of our Axon body worn cameras, in-car cameras, and storage. Several members of the police department talked to 5th graders from the junior high about law enforcement. I went to the Beloit Township and presented to the Beloit Chamber of Commerce Ambassadors meeting. Talked about law enforcement in South Beloit and a little bit about our city. We conducted a search warrant in 14,000 blocks away. We made a grant for possession of child sex abuse material, 5 counts of that, 1 count of dissemination of the same, and possession of a controlled substance, which ended up being cocaine. We received our 2 new squad cards. We're just waiting on upfitting and details. I completed my term as chairman on the Northern Illinois Training Advisory Board. I spent 6 years on that board. My term is done. Also attended meetings, but just more as a spectator. And lastly, Ellen and I attended the politics through college just prior to us opening up this in.
I think, everybody's questions. Well, I want to mention one thing too. I asked that lady to leave. That's the first time that's happened. For 11 years I've been. Well, we run this meeting by the Robert's Rules of Order. There's only 1 person that's going to be talking at a time. And when I ask, people to stop, expect them to stop. I gave her 3 chances. I'm sorry that happened, but that's what it is. All right, correspondence, presentation from Chief Brian Coates regarding unit citations regarding the incident that occurred on April 23rd, 2026. Please, Brian.
Yes. All right, we had a difficult incident, again, April 23rd, 2026. Our crews responded and had to run 5:41 p.m. and they were on the scene within 2 minutes. And within 1 minute, they already started initiating medical care, and also started working on extricating the child from underneath the car. Very fortunate we had South Beloit, Winnebago County, and Roscoe Police there as well, assisted. So we had a very positive outcome. Definitely could have been much worse, but I wanted to recognize crew for the quick actions with everything they did in a very short amount of time. So we're presenting them. Tonight we have Lieutenant Mike Lowe, firefighter paramedic Zachary Hawkins, and firefighter EMT Colin Duncan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the fire department, back in.
Yes.
Brian,
Yep.
present a presentation for Brian Coons, from Brian Coons regarding smoke detector program. Oh, I want to say one thing too about that last. We had our development meetings we have on Wednesdays. And Chief Herman's give me a bunch of stuff from the state and county and all that about these motorcycles and these bikes. And we all see them around here. And they've become a problem. They've become a problem between the state, our laws, all these county laws. It's hard to put your finger on what we're gonna do because something has to be done. We will talk about it. Chief was gonna give more information. That's all, sorry. Okay, Chief, on smoke detectors, please.
So part of my future plan is to reduce anybody in our city that doesn't have any working smoke detectors. And, you know, we can't just go into somebody's residence as requested. So that's something that you have to be careful with. However, if we're on mountain calls, any other incident, and we notice that there's a smoke detector missing, or if we get a phone call from a citizen requesting assistance, this is what this program is geared towards, helping people in the city of South Beloit. You know, there's some parameters, and I know there was some concerns as far as handing out the smoke detectors versus installation. I'm very pro installation, and this is myself talking, because if you just drop one off, how long is it gonna be before they put it up? And I know it happens. So my entire career, I've seen where people have, when we were on calls, we always carried smoke detectors, and, you know, during that incident, we've changed them right there, because you don't wanna wait. Especially with the fires now, they triple in size in a very short amount of time. The early detection is what's gonna save somebody's life. I've seen too many people die over my years where they didn't have working smoke detectors. So this is where I wanna push this. Actually, you know, we don't have to completely go finalize this tonight, because, I think we're still researching the installation versus, handing them out. At least you guys seen the draft. I know I'm very pro installation. I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. And, I think this definitely will be positive. It'll be slow, you know, it'll take several years just to monitor it. So I'm very for this. Versus,
You say you have them in your fire truck and that.
we don't have them right now, but in my past experiences, we would get them and always carry some with us. So we could, do that. So it's something, obviously, it's not budgeted yet. We're working on grants and, can't buy me as far as getting some donated. So we're working on some of those right now. So, it's just something that I think would be.
You have a figure, a number that, something to shoot for, how much you need for,
Not yet.
Yes. We did a similar program in the early 2000s. Where we went in installations, I'm very pro installation. There's many things we were dealing with the elderly that don't want to climb on ladders, they don't want to climb on ladders. It's a good program, it was very successful. I'd like to see us look at it again.
oh yeah, get the numbers together, what you think you need. No,
Mayor,
good.
I can add to, we did ask Laura to do a little bit of research and reach out to communities that are currently giving them away, just to kind of find out Have there been lawsuits? Is this a liability concern? If you have a minute to share.
Sure, there were some concerns over liability waiver. We would have one, but how much protection would that give the city? Looks like we're coming to a place where would not be incurring a liability risk that we couldn't absorb. We believe from a legal standpoint, we could move forward with the installation program. We need to generate those liability waivers, we need to set up the program, get ducks in a row. It looks like we're heading that way. If there's something we'd like to move.
This will be up for approval at a upcoming meeting.
Sure. But also, if not, we're moving on. New business, discuss approve, for the 20th anniversary party roadblock from Same Wind Riders Motorcycle Club, June 12th, 2026, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And on June 13th, 2026, 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. at South Point Business Friends Association, 525 Worcester Street. Get a motion, please.
Second.
I'm here.
Oh, you want me to talk about it? I'm gonna say.
No, if they have any questions or anything like that.
What, just tell us what you're trying to do.
Well, as stated, it's our 20th anniversary, as a motorcycle group, and we're just inviting other motorcycle groups in. They're gonna be traveling from out of states and from the local areas. We plan on having, food truck vendors, merchandise vendors. We're gonna have, of course, like the best in bikes type contest, stuff like that, and it's about a meet and greet where we have, finger foods again. The vendors will also be out selling food for the people who are involved with our event.
You plan on having any security?
No, we usually can do what we're supposed to do. We're grown folks and we like. No, unless we have to have them, but we've had celebrations and we've never had an issue, and that's another reason I don't know. We have to have security, or can we get security if need to be, and what all do we need to make sure that this works?
Chief, talk about that, because I'm not.
Megan actually, has reviewed all of the permit information, right, Megan?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, Sean and I have gone through extensively on everything that would be required for them to go through. We've spoken with the police department and also with, I believe I've spoken with Chief Foods about this. Mildly, have I spoken with you about this?
What was that?
About the anniversary party with the motorcycle.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I've explained to Lynette that she's going to need a series of permits for each vendor. So for the merchandise vendor, the food truck vendor, if they decide that they want to do a beer garden, so they have to have a special.
We're not doing a beer garden.
Okay, yeah, so they'll have to have all the permits and everything in addition to the approval.
Yeah, no vendor will be on premises unless they come here, and so far we've only had supposedly 2. There's supposed to be more, but we told them if they don't do the proper paperwork, they will not be at the event.
How many people are you planning on attending?
It could be, I would say on the low 100, could be 200. I would say maybe on Friday night, probably just maybe like 100. I would think the whole day Saturday, probably gonna have fluctuation of, up to 200.
Past parties you've had, how many, did you say?
About at least 200.
Okay.
Mhm.
Where have you had the past party?
Well, we have a club member out, it's kind of like in Rockford, but it's considered Winnebago. He has a farm, he has a lot of land out there and stuff. We just wanted to bring it in closer to the area here, especially for people out of town, so they don't have to travel out in the Winnebago area to come to the party, where they just right come off the highway. And we secured like hotel rooms, bookings, with the Best Western and some of them in the Wisconsin area. Thank you.
That's
Any
just,
other Sean on that application process? No. Anything we're missing?
so we got.
the bike show?
It's, the bike show will be on the 13th. The meet and greet is Friday night, and it's from 4 to 10, and the bike show, it'll be in between But is it, probably around 7, it'll start like the bike show. Again, we have like, from 10 to 4 is open. And then we have like an intermission where, like I said, some bikers might want to just, tour around the city and stuff like that. But of course, people will still be there, but the bike show will be heading in between 7 and 10.
Just for purposes of the council meeting, so that those that are here from the public are aware, when the council session is going on, only the council members can speak or call upon a speaker to speak on an item. We cannot have back and forth from members of the public, because it would then be a violation of the Illinois Open Meetings Act. We have a clerk here who's taking record of everyone that speaks and what is said. And so if we have people shouting out questions from the audience or shouting out comments from the audience, it interferes then with the ability of the meeting to be conducted. So I don't know we're new, so I just wanted to make sure that I made that clear.
So on this thing here, we're gonna, if we pass this with all paperwork being done, then.
The paperwork has already been presented, and as with any special event application, as the clerk outlined, there is a meeting amongst the staff to figure out whether or not additional conditions or approvals may be necessary. Our ordinances spell out when security is needed, when it's not needed. And so again, all of that would have been reviewed already before the request comes to council.
When did they do it? What'd you end up with? Did you okay it, man?
We did, that's why it's recorded.
All right, okay. I'm just, all I wanna know is if all the paperwork done, everything.
It wouldn't have been on the agenda unless all the items were within the ordinance.
Right,
Commissioner Prince,
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
and Mayor Fitzgerald.
yes. All set. Discuss approve request for possible reduction of fines for the amount of $43,500 pertaining to findings decision order entered in September 20th, 2023 against the state of Ernest Hurd and Jeremy Hurd for the property located at 1921 Spencer Court. Motion, please.
Almost. Thanks.
Okay,
I can cover this if you'd like me to. So as the council may be aware, I know this property has been on the agenda for some discussions and maybe even discussed in some executive sessions several years ago. We did have a code enforcement violation in 1921 Spencer Court. Initially, the violation was with regard to sand and gravel that were placed for construction of a driveway on the property without a driveway application. And then there was construction of a secondary structure, an accessory structure that also was not permitted. And ultimately it was discovered that that structure was built over the property line onto the neighbor of the property, Tammy Olson, on her property. So the process for the code enforcement case went through the city's process back in 2018. The property owner, which was actually would have been a family member of the estate of Ernest Hurd, because Mr. Hurd is passed away. That individual did not appear, and a findings decision and order was entered back in September of 2018. The case proceeded through litigation due to the non-compliance, and ultimately it resulted in a permit for partial demolition of that accessory structure being at least approved in 2022. Throughout 2022 and 2023, there were numerous other notices of violation that were sent for garbage, inoperable motor vehicles, again for the accessory structure that had been constructed onto Ms. Olson's property. Your code enforcement officer, Sean Henthorn, appeared to testify in a civil case between the state and Ms. Olson. And then again, in 2023, there were additional notices of violation and summonses to appear for many of the same violations that dated back to 2018, duty and maintenance of private property, and then other violations regarding the unfinished accessory structure. A final decision and order was entered in the favor of the city
for $43,500. Again, all of the fines each day constitutes a separate violation, so every single day that a violation was present on the property or ordered fines. There was no payment made, and so a memorandum of judgment was filed on December 18th, 2023. With interest, the total amount owed to the city, again, just based on the fines from the administrative hearing, is $53,764.81. Since that date, the neighbor, Ms. Olson, has gone through the legal process of getting appointed as this independent administrator for the estate of Ernest Hurd. And in doing so, she has expended significant sums of her own money to take care of probate administration costs, paying real estate taxes on the property, in taking care of other expenses related to remediation of the code violations. I won't speak to whether or not the code violations are currently remediated. I'm going to defer to your community development director on that in terms of what the state of the property currently is as of today, because I know that in the past, when the council has been asked for a reduction in a findings decision and order, which is what is before you today, the first question that the council wants to know is the property in compliance? So I'll refer to the development director as with regard to whether or not the property is in compliance. But what is before you is a request from Attorney Nathan Noble on behalf of the estate of Ernest Hurd, and in this case, Ms. Wilson, as independent administrator. The request is really twofold. It is either one, if the city would agree to waive the entire memorandum of judgment, so that this property can then get placed up for sale, get back on the tax rolls, so on and so forth. It's a very lengthy letter that was sent to the city, and you know, I can read it if you'd like me to, but in conclusion, what they're asking for is that due to the fact that Ms. Olson has had to take on significant expense to get this estate opened and to allow the estate to be wound up, she's asking for a removal of that, what's really a lien, right? The city's judgment operates as a lien on the property, so that she can recover some of the substantial sums that she has advanced. Alternatively, in the event that the council is not willing to agree to a total waiver of the findings decision order, there's a request that the amount be one that would equal whatever the city's costs have been. And I don't think that the ask in the letter is for your staff, but I think any outside contract costs is what Attorney Noble has identified in the letter that they would be asking be essentially the fine, and that would sit on the property until the property was then able to be sold and it would be paid up the closing proceeds. One thing that I do want to bring to the council's attention is you do have an ordinance that specifically calls out what by ordinance you would normally do in with regard to reduction of fines. And it is if the property owner has achieved compliance with all code violations and there are no other amounts due and owing to the city, so no sewer bills, license permit fees, property taxes, etc. If those conditions are met, what your ordinance says is that you will reduce the fines assessed to an amount that equals all costs incurred by the city associated with the case. So attorney's fees, staff time, administrative hearing fees, so on and so forth. And then 1/2 of the difference between the fines assessed and the total costs that are incurred. So in the event that you just went with what your ordinance states, that would equal $24,257.31. That would be the 1/2 of the difference between the total fines assessed and the total costs incurred. But again, I think that the individual in this particular case is asking for either one, a complete and total reduction, or two, hard costs plus your recording fees. And I think that I should turn it over to the community development director to address other issues that she has knowledge of with regard to this property.
The property is in compliance, the garage has been demolished, and everything has been taken away from that, so the exterior of the property is in compliance. It appears that the property taxes for 23 and 24 are outstanding. As of today, the amount due is $6,747.68. That total is accurate until the new total comes into play on May 20th, and then it'll go up to $6,867.67.
And that the real estate tax issue was outlined in the letter from. I am also, I believe that that Attorney Noble was informed that with this letter, he really did not need to be present tonight. But I don't know if Ms. Wilson is here. If she is, I'm sure she would like to probably speak to the council, but that's obviously up to the council to determine if that's appropriate.
All right, that's all.
I will make it brief. You guys have heard me complaining for 8 years now, having to deal with this. Paid way more than just the money. I've been harassed, just unbelievable. The amount of time, mental stress, basically a prisoner in my house because the neighbor, Jeremy Hurd, and all of his kids constantly harassed me. Shining lights in my, just shining lights in my house. I couldn't even mow my lawn without them coming out to watch me. I've had to hire a lawn care guy. I mean, nonstop for 8 years. I paid way more than the money. It's well over $200,000 now that the estate is in debt. So if you guys don't reduce it, I'm gonna be underwater.
I got the question I got is, we agreed to what their attorney is asking, that then we would recoup our costs after she sells the house. But they lose the house and when somebody comes in and buys the taxes, you know.
Yeah, they've already been sold, so we have like up till May, I think, of next year to get it sold. And there's a lot of money that has to be put into the house to even get it to sell. There's money.
I'm talking about us, with us.
Right, you're not gonna get money out of it.
Mayor, I think I understand your question, and our memorandum of judgment would not be superior to a property tax lien.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Somebody
yes.
comes in and buys this property because it's 2 years in arrears. And buys it for the third year. If you don't pay the taxes within 3 years.
I've already had to pay over 10 grand for the first 3 years.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that our lien doesn't mean anything.
Nobody's lien does. Nobody gets anything if it's not done. The only reason you guys
The
even,
person that has, buying up your taxes gets the house in.
the only reason this is even on the table is because I paid the taxes before, which kept it live, that we might be able to.
I know if you paid the third year taxes, you pay 1 year's taxes, you get another 3 years. That's how they do that. And they do know, and,
It just needs to be done.
but it kind of puts us in a bad situations. How can we,
Well, okay, you're saying that, but you know, my property has really. I pay taxes thinking my property is gonna be protected, yet I had to live next to somebody who had 3 rows of vehicles.
Yeah.
All plates, you know, no plates, whatever, and none of the codes could be enforced because. You couldn't go on his property to get it. Basically, I lived next to a used car lot in a dump because none of the codes could be enforced without the insurance that covers your guys' liability. If he were to be sued against them, so I had to live next to it.
I don't worry about penalties I never had, but I do worry about recouping our costs on everything. I see. But one thing I did, when I read this here, I went through here a couple times, but I read it, it said 2024, you become independent.
I paid over 10 grand to open probate because his attorney and him filed falsely saying they had transferred all of the estate assets into Jeremy's name. Then I had to pay another 10 something grand for the taxes and then start paying the property insurance for the house that the guy is harassing me.
I don't want to know legally. Jeremy Hurd, is he responsible for everything up to 2024?
Yes.
Oh, with regard to the fines and
Yeah.
things, yes, I mean, as
So
you,
we're talking to her about 2024, whatever that was, 5.
I'm sorry, let me make sure that I'm
I'm clear on this with you. The estate of Ernest Hurd was the property. The estate of Ernest Hurd is responsible for the findings decision and order that is currently in place. As far as I am aware, Jeremy Hurd is never entitled to the property. He was essentially squatting there.
But he
And-
originally was the heir, sorry.
He was never entitled to the property, so the findings, decision, and order is entered against the estate of Ernest as the property. Okay, so with regard to your question, Mayor, with regard to costs, the city's outstanding costs that it has would be $5,250.20. And that includes the recording of the lien and time associated with the file since 2018.
Well, we just had this come before us last week, or 2 weeks ago. Not this one, but another one. He owed $100,000, you know, I mean, and, but we usually do what we do to one, to do the other. We try to make everything be fair for all. So, but go ahead, you guys. Give me
My
what-
stance on this has always been the city recover money it's spent for legal fees, for city time, for that type of stuff.
Can you give us a figure on that?
I don't have it available.
And I mean, I'm assuming you have ownership of the house, is that what's happening?
I'm the executor of the estate,
Uh,
and I'm also the estate's biggest creditor, I thought.
all right, and do you have plans to,
I just wanna sell it and get my money back and move on.
is it sellable in the state?
Right now, it's not. They trashed it, I think there might be 2 doors inside that aren't missing or damaged. There's holes in the walls, the flooring, the ceiling. There is so much, I mean, every day he squatted there, he basically damaged the house more to lower the estate value to hurt everybody.
So do you have plans to improve the house or what?
Yeah,
what are you
it
talking-
depends on depending on whether you remove or lower the lien, that tells me how much money I might be able to put into the house to try to get more out to
That's kind of where I'm going.
hopefully be helpful. I took down the garage, which that was $4,200. Or yeah, 4,200. It was another 1,400 to just clear the junk out of the property. Right now, yeah, the amount is unbelievable. So then it's gonna be another, I was given an estimate of over $6,000 to fix just the upstairs on the inside of ceiling painting. That's not even replacing the doors, it's just all the trim, everything. So, I mean, there's a lot to try to put into it to even break even.
This is me, just me, right? I get to the point where if we can waive this, but in the good faith to you, to use whatever we're waiving goes into the house.
It's a higher amount.
Well, that's, I mean, where I'm coming from, I'm only one.
That's exactly.
So that's where
I would suggest laying this over and letting Sean figure out what the city's cost is. And then we go from there, because right now, we don't have numbers, we have, city.
It's like,
we
I
don't
can't
want
make
to lose any
decisions.
for city.
We don't want no, like,
We want to help you out, but we don't want to lose anything for the city, and that's something that we need numbers together. Courtney?
I agree with Ryan, I would like to get this property in better condition, get it back into the market. So if we need to lay it over, I understand, but if there's a way to do an approval. Subject to Shauna's numbers, I would just assume get it over.
I'd be sure of that.
Is there a way to do that?
Is there a way we can?
Yes, yeah, I mean, I provided you what the numbers were that you had for out of
Yeah,
pocket
yeah,
costs in
right.
terms of our records.
I mean, that's,
Which is
it's gonna be
$5,000.
$250.
Yeah. So that may not be exact today, but it's pretty close to that. You think
This
that's
is
exact?
exact as it relates to your actual out of pocket expenses, not including staff costs.
I don't know what $5,250.20 is gonna do for you.
I've seen the 40-something thousand down to that. Huge,
No,
huge difference.
no, you figured that about right?
That's
That's for their time, yeah. I can't even estimate what mine, it's not going to be huge by any means.
Say it's cheap.
Yeah.
Johnny, you were.
It's going to come on.
You also have to take in the fact that I've provided Shauna with a great daytime soap opera for 8 years.
We're gonna have
How do we make this motion?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the council just needs to come to a consensus of what amount you are willing to lower the finance decision in order to. And my suggestion would be the amount of out-of-pocket costs that I have already outlined for you, plus whatever the staff time is. And that, there be a condition that the only way that the city would be willing to accept that amount would be in the event, whatever that, ultimate amount ends up being, which would be the 5,000 plus city staff time. That in accordance with the suggestions made by Attorney Noble, that would then be a lien that would be satisfied at the time that the sale proceeds of the closing of the house occurred, without any further penalty of accrual, no additional fines being accrued to date during the listing and closing period.
Yeah, but he had 23,000.
No, he asked for a complete and total withdrawal of the FDO, or in the alternative, full satisfaction of a lien equal to the city's costs. The number that you're referencing there is what your ordinance would otherwise dictate.
Give us the number.
She can't, right?
She
has to
can't,
look
she can't.
at 4 years of tracking time.
The city could also just, you could choose a number.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say 7,500.
We just need a motion to say that. Yes.
Okay, let's go with 7,500.
I need a motion.
Make a motion to sell this for 7,500 and be paid.
Close.
Yeah, we're closing, so if that's a year from now, 2 years from now, it's at the closing.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Is that all right?
All set.
That helps.
I'll
I mean, that's a
second.
big chunk that really will make a difference.
But you need a roll call vote, please.
Yeah, I think we do it.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson, Commissioner Morse,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Mayor Fisher.
Yes, okay, discuss approve. Discuss approve, amendment to chapter 86, street sidewalks, other public places, article 5, driveway section 86, 190. Specification, get a motion.
Motion.
Okay, I brought this up. I brought this up because I was against this before, not against what I'm gonna say. I was against gravel on the driveway, but I was for microdate, it's going to call it.
Reclaim.
Yeah, reclaim, if you take asphalt, take it out, regrind it, put it back down, put adhesive with it. I believe it's still asphalt, yeah, I mean, it should be, and it is hard, and you take care of it just like you do a blacktop directly. And that's all I said, is I said, I think that should be put in there, that's allowed. That was why I brought this up. Well, whatever you guys wanna say.
I just have a couple of questions I'm gonna ask Steve, right? Currently, do we need to repair an alleyway that the city owns? What are we putting down?
When we have a problem spot where it constantly walks back up, we do have recycled asphalt back in our pit. We put that down, the compact down, and that is stay versus the normal gravel aggregate with the fine.
Okay, we're putting recycled asphalt down as a means to fix large potholes in the alleyways. Go ahead.
No, I just believe that, and I understand that subdivisions where they build new houses, put new driveways in. They have new cement, but most of this comes from the old part of town where the driveways are not cement. But I mean, I believe if, I just all in favor of putting a recycled blacktop down the driveway, as long as it's compressed.
Yeah, that's the main thing is getting in contact with Greg, so it'll actually Greg adhere to it, so.
So in layman's terms, we had recycled asphalt. Similar to gravel, now we're moving it from gravel over to the asphalt. Is that kind of similar?
Oh, we had anything, recycled blacktop could not be used as truck, gravel could not be.
Blacktop.
Hot mix asphalt.
Okay, alright.
What?
Hot mix asphalt or.
But I said, I think.
I was just trying to break it down in layman's terms, I kind of, so we had it classified, under the gravel.
But I mean, I don't see anything wrong, and I asked Steve to go check out a couple driveways, and he went, and, he come back and he said, because what he's more afraid of is breaking down and going in our sewers and that stuff, fogging it up, which as long as it's done properly, it won't do it, it just maintain it like everybody else's driveway, you maintain it.
Question on the replacement of existing
Yeah,
asphalt, recycled asphalt, right? Because I know if you do it right, compact it down, what, 5-6 years, right? When it comes time to replace that recycled asphalt, required to get a permit, yes, no.
Yeah, anytime, even resealing your driveway, you're supposed to get a permit. Just to say that they're doing it, just so that we can verify the dimensions, make sure it's not enlarging at all. Typically, we don't have people pay for that, just to verify the width. If they're redoing anything, adding new material, then it goes from the maintenance to new. So that would constitute a full application and pay for
So
that.
replacing recycled asphalt is adding just the same.
Correct.
So you're saying that's just.
you can do it now.
No.
Can't.
As of right now, under the ordinance, recycled asphalt is not an
It's not an
service.
Okay, so let's pretend that recycled asphalt is now okay, all right? I've got recycled asphalt in my driveway. 3 years from now, I wanna say, hey, guys, I wanna replace my broken down recycled asphalt, I wanna put new down. It's gonna be the same, it's just replacing what was already. Permit, yes, no, yes.
But it'd be allowed if we change.
If it's changed, and it's allowed, it's an allowable material.
Mhm.
Anytime you're adding new to anything, you're no longer maintaining. You're producing something new, so you need an application for that.
Okay, and we're not charging for this permit, we're just doing it to ensure that it's not being widened, that it is staying within the city's code of ordinance.
If you're adding new material, you're being charged for an application because it is now something new. The key word is adding new material.
Kenny, what do you think?
I just don't want to, I don't,
Alright, Kenny's got, you got any problem with,
No.
recycled blacktop?
Blacktop.
Okay,
As long as it's installed properly, I don't have a problem.
okay, we wanna make a motion that we add recycled,
I won't need an motion for that, Mayor, I just will draft an ordinance and bring it back.
Okay. Well, that's all about. Moving on. Okay, discuss approve ordinance 2913, approve discuss a use permit to allow for production of soil additives, amendments of wholesale distribution thereof. Commercial retail zoning district and property located at 290 Elmwood Avenue, Southwood, Illinois. Motion please.
Second.
Brandon's back, right?
Brandon. I think I'm involved with this, yeah.
You ain't in this one yet.
Not this one, I just saw your grant, so.
So, no, this is what we were talking about, fish. We're voting on fish, whether you want to allow this or not. It's been thrown 100 times now, so I think everybody should have their mind made up of what they want to do. Megan?
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Avery,
Yes.
Commissioner Hedrington, Commissioner Forrest,
Yeah.
and Mayor Fisher.
Yes. Approved, 3-1. Okay, discuss and approve resolutions number 6703, approving an agreement with Fairground to prepare the final engineering plan for permitting construction neighborhood park, improvement in the nature of the confluence. Motion.
Second.
I guess this is yours.
Yeah, so this is the design engineering proposal for the OSLAT project. You guys should be aware, city was awarded the OSLAT grant about a month ago. I think funding agreement was signed. So this is to basically kickstart the project. Our preliminary estimate for the application was just over $1.2 million. That included all of the improvements. I don't know if you need me to run through those improvements again, but it's the improvement to the park over here, just north and west of the Dairy Ripple. One thing I do want to make you guys aware of, engineering expenses are reimbursable through this program but it is capped at 15.25%. So if we are looking at a $1.2 million project, which is the max award that the city applied for, $183,000 would be reimbursable through the OSLAT grant. So that's a substantial majority of this engineering proposal, but there is a small amount. I think our proposal is 185,000 some odd change that exceeds that 180,000. So the city would have some local match as a part of that. But the OSLAD will reimburse up to 15.25% or 183,000. Those engineering reimbursements can be submitted quarterly through the program. I believe the city actually, when they signed the funding agreement, they are getting 50% of the grant upfront, and then 50% would be covered throughout the duration of the project. So that's what you have in front of you. There's a lot that goes into the design. We got a lot of floodplain and floodway permitting that needs to be done. We're doing playground equipment. We're doing an overlook structure over the Kelly Creek. So there's going to be some structural engineering that's involved. We did include construction observation services as well in this. That we generally assume that the city wants to do that. So we discussed it and did include that in our proposal. But that's part of the whole 185,000. And yeah, basically that will cover all of the design engineering and all of the construction engineering inspection to get this project completion.
That was 2 inches of stuff that we got, the pages is all we got, 100 some pages. That was all about.
So no, that's the next streets project.
Brady,
I didn't read it. I
modeling too, and then the slide here.
Yeah, so H&H modeling, so because this property is in the floodway, we have to permit everything through the IDNR, which takes quite a long time. Our typical turnaround time that we see once we submit our hydraulic study or our water study, it's generally anywhere from 4 to 9 months until we get reviewed back from IDNR. So they make us do a survey of the entire property. They make us do a model with all of our proposed improvements, and we have to prove that we are not causing an increase to the floodplain elevation, essentially. That if there were a flood to come through, we have to prove that our improvements will not lead to any increased flood heights surrounding the property. So there's a lot that goes into it. Thankfully, the council, I believe it was in late 2024, approved the design engineering of the first phase of that, which is just a parking lot. So we got a decent amount of that hydraulic modeling done. But because these improvements expand beyond those limits, we have to go back and get some additional survey and do some additional modeling. So yeah, what you see in there covers quite a bit of floodway permitting, structural engineering, construction engineering and inspection, topographic survey, basically everything that would go into a normal project. But this is obviously a large scale, over $1.2 million. So quite a bit goes into it.
Anybody else? Megan, please.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Commissioner Chedington? Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
And Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes. Discuss approved resolution number 6704, approving the settlement agreement with Fred Weiss. Motion, please.
Motion. Second.
This is what we discussed last week and for $22,500.
That's correct. And also Mayor, the property owner has signed the settlement agreement. The terms of the settlement agreement dictate the due date of the payment for the outstanding sewer bills, as well as an application for sewer service and a sewer certification to be performed by a licensed plumber. We did provide those applications to the attorney for the property owner. Don't know that we've received those back yet, but it will be a requirement in order for continued service.
Keep up with payments now.
It will be a one payment, well, and yes, I'm sorry. That for the ongoing service.
Hence the February statement went out, it's made that payment on the sewer bill.
There
Yes.
hasn't been a bill yet that has been issued that would generate a new payment. It will be, I'm assuming within the next couple of days. Yes, for April service. Yeah.
Anybody else? Megan, please.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman,
Yes.
Commissioner Edington, and Mayor Fitzgerald.
Okay, here we go again. Start to approve authorize city of South Beloit to issue a request for bids on the 2026 MFT projects. Motion.
Well, sorry.
This is why we got the $1 million, right?
Right,
This is why there's so much paper.
1% sales tax.
yeah, sorry for all the paper. What that was, as you guys know, those are all of the engineering plans, bid specifications, and then the cost estimate for the project. If you guys recall, you had approved an MFT portion of the project, which was the Missy Meadows subdivision. And then there was a local street side of that project as well that was paid for out of the 1 cent, will be paid for out of the 1 cent sales tax. That is focusing on a majority of the roads over in the Hemingway area. So Hemingway and like on the road names, just south of the Wheeler House. A lot of those roads in that area. So Fairgraham was contracted to do that design, started at the beginning of the year. We have now submitted our MFT plans to IDOT. We did get comments back from them. We are finishing up the local design currently. And so just to keep the project transparent with the board or the council, we wanted to bring this back to you, get authorization to seek bids. So we will have to, in order to follow the city purchasing policy, we will have to advertise the note or the request for bids in a local newspaper that have to be out for a bid for a period of at least 10 days. We will then get bids back, evaluate the bidders, and then we will place on the upcoming council agenda a recommendation for award for the lowest responsible bidder. So yeah, essentially this is just authorizing Fairgraham to start to solicit bids from contractors once the design is completed.
Anybody else?
Mayor, one other thing that I will add, I believe our preliminary estimates for the project, including all of these roads, was over $2 million. I think we're about 2.1 million. After we did the design, our total improvements are actually $1,983,691.84. So just shy of $2 million. So we are a little bit under the expected budget, but obviously we'll get bids and we will present those bids to you, and those will be the actual costs for the project.
We got change.
Potentially, we'll see how the bidders, historically, we've been a little high on our estimates, but we want to keep it honest, and obviously with the oil prices currently, we're not sure where bids are going to fall, but we're pretty hopeful that it'll fall. Not quite yet, that'll be the next council meeting.
At the end of the day, Mayor, this is more roads than we have done on the last.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, see, I think every time we talk about this, we need to talk about how exciting it is about the 1% sales tax on all these roads that have historically been very, very poor. We do not trumpet it enough about how much good this thing is doing. And each and every time we do this work, it needs to be talked about. First and foremost, it's all you hear about, it's all you see is how bad these roads are. Tell your friends, tell everybody, the roads are getting done because you're buying gas. The people out at the interstate, when they're coming through town, are buying gas, filling up their semis, and they're paying for the roads, not us. Tell your friends, please.
And what everybody needs to remember, Blackhawk, Gardner, 251 are state roads. They're not our roads. Steve gets the pleasure of filling up the potholes when he gets called, but I want everybody to, I hear so much about, well, Blackhawk's terrible. We're doing fine. All we get to do is fill the potholes, And then we get reimbursed from that, and it's the state makes the calls. Motion, or that's already done, come on, Megan.
Mr. Francis,
Yes.
Mr. Amon,
I don't know, yes.
Mr. Hedington, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
and Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes, schedule for wastewater employment agreement between the city of South Lake and Jeff Renner. This, these agreements that we'll be going through right now are, it's a protection. What it is like, if, because in the past, I was part of it, but because in the past where, a new council would come in, what had happened, they could wipe out this whole board. They could wipe this board out up here, but take all the department heads out too. And I brought this up, I said, that shouldn't happen because, you know, we work hard to get things going forward in this town. And we got good people sitting down there, and they should be protected until, you know, maybe the board will decide later on to do it, but it gives them a couple months, pay for, like severance pay, that's what it is. What I want, I asked the governor, we all agreed on it, now we gotta hold up.
I want to add, Mayor, just, there's so many people here today, it's so exciting, audience. This is only if it were without due cause.
Without due
If
cause,
we
yeah.
mess up, we're getting terminated, there's no, it's only if, you know, Commissioner Prentice decides that Jeff shouldn't be our waste, or that would be Commissioner, but one commissioner can have full assurance.
All of it.
Yeah, my,
And I'll tell you, in terms of morale, it's really nice to know that you can't just be removed because a new council gets elected. So this is, I know I can put to the table by saying that this is very well received and, we have a lot of gratitude for what the council has worked.
I think, yes,
Probably clarify. The employment agreements are not changing state statute. State statute requires that when a new council comes in, if that new council decides that they do not want, Jeff to serve as the wastewater superintendent anymore, or even myself as city attorney, that is subject to the advice and consent of the city council. So that would be the city council's decision. And they would be able to make that whether there was an employment agreement or not. The only thing that these employment agreements will provide is the right to a hearing where maybe there may have not otherwise been one in certain circumstances. And there would be a right to severance in the event that an individual was terminated without just cause. So those are the only differences between what you had in place previously and what you have in place now. Just want to make sure that that's.
Explains a lot better, right?
in my mind, this is a compromise. When I first came on this council, I had big ideas of changing city government, so that way the 5 of us aren't all turning over at once, right?
Yeah.
This adds a little level of continuity that I think is a compromise to entirely changing the form of government that we have. Because it's insane to me that, I mean, I don't care if I'm up here next time around, right? But what I care most about is the continuity of trying to get things done for the city, and whether it's 2 or 3 at a different time, 5 at once is insanity.
And like he said, I know for a fact that it takes you, once you're elected to council, it takes you a year and a half, 2 years or something to get your feet on the ground, because there's so much stuff that goes on. I mean, you see the stuff that goes on here, but you don't see the stuff that goes on back. Okay, let's go, Megan.
I'm making motions and seconds.
Motion.
Second, what's all we already had. Okay.
Commissioner Edelman,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
and Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes, discuss approved street superintendent employment agreement between the city of South Lake and Steve Haas. Motion, please.
Follow, second.
Megan.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson, and Mayor Fitzgerald.
Yes, discuss approved police chief employment agreement between the city of South Lake and improvement. Motion.
So move, second.
Mayor, if I could just point out, this is the one agreement that is different than the rest. Again, just for the record, with regard to the police chief's agreement, because Chief Truman has ascended through the ranks of the rank and file with the South Beloit Police Department. If for some reason a future council were to decide to go in a different direction with the police chief position, Chief Truman does have the ability to remain in the last held rank that he held prior to becoming the police chief. So this agreement is a little bit different than the other agreements in that regard. I just wanted to make sure that that was clear for you. Because that is a statutory obligation of the city of South.
I know.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Headington, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
and Mayor Fisher.
Yes, that's approved. Community Development Director, appointment between the city of South Beloit and South Airport. Megan.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Headington, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
and Mayor Fisher.
Yes, that's approved. City clerk appointment agreement between the city of South Beloit and Megan Rick. Motion please.
So move. Second.
Megan, please.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Headington, and Mayor Fisher.
Yes, discuss approve hiring payroll enrollment at a rate of $15 per hour as part-time parks seasonal employee. Motion please.
So move. Second. This will be added on to our summer seasonals, like I say, we'll end up with 6 this year, so we'll have 2 returning and 4. So, I can pay her, gonna make a good addition to the team.
Good. Megan, please.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Headington, and Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
And Mayor Fisher.
Yes, discuss approve hiring Cameron Meister as a rate $15 per hour for part-time parks seasonal employee. Motion please.
So move. Second. Yes, and that's just another one of the new ones coming on, and yeah, I think we'll make another good addition.
Excellent. We're doing most of our own cut now, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, we're doing all.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
We have no mowing contract and all. We do.
We're paying contractors to come to do. That's really good. I'm glad you. Megan, please.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Headington, Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Prentice,
Yes.
and Mayor Fisher.
Yes, we're gonna close it down to an executive session at, I can't see it.
6:23.
6:23 is what they're not,
Okay, well, our committee is at six.
okay.
We already know.
Okay, there'll be no action coming back, so.
I'm sorry.
Okay, vote. All in favor?